Good day. Thanks for joining me with passages in Pranayama. I'm going to make a great attempt at having a little bit more pranayama than I have these past 2 weeks. Maybe, like myself, you have been inspired uh, by the Amanda Gorman's um, inaugural poem, The Hill We Climb, which is, was profound. It was just absolutely amazing. And would love to recite the entire thing. I'm not going to. I have a few thoughts in mind, though, that's for sure, that I would love to share, especially as it might pertain to yoga, how we maybe, what steps we might take moving forward. Um, that maybe you might look into the poem and extract some really useful thoughts from those words that she so eloquently spoke. Um, so this comes the first part I would like to address. Yes, okay. It's only a few lines in. Okay, so I'm going to start actually at the third line, though it's not exactly what I'm covering. The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just is isn't always justice. Ooh, amazing. Yeah, so that is basically from the third through maybe the ninth line or something like that, 10th line. So we brave the belly beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And immediately I'm reminded of the conflict that so many yoga students discover when they first read the Bhagavad Gita, that, Krishna, of course, is the embodiment, like most gods that are celebrated, the embodiment of calm and peace, right, and patience, and all those qualities, right, those virtues, essentially, that we're looking to embody ourselves. And here, like so many before her, just as Christian words, we've learned that quiet isn't always peace. You can't just sit aside. You can't sit on the sidelines, right? If injustice is happening, if the non-virtuous, maybe the misled, the mentally corrupt, as us Yoga Sutra, I would never call myself a scholar, but those who study the Yoga Sutra would call it, right? The mind has become corrupt, and now, what do we do? Just sit back and not do anything, not say anything? It's one of my favorite things online is, not the biggest fan of social media while I'm here on YouTube. I realize that hypocrisy is being confronted about certain thoughts I might have about certain ex-presidents. It's beautiful to say that. And, kind of, looking towards those virtues that, if you listen to my or watch my YouTube, maybe it was last week, about embodying those virtues. It's not impossible. It's not possible to embody them all the time, right? We're human. We're flawed, as we would also learn from certain, scriptures, that God also quite fallible. But nonetheless, we try, right? We work towards the greater good. And what work do we have to put in here in this instance, in this phrase that Amanda puts, kind of to call to action, quite honestly? You can't sit aside. It was one of the most beautiful things about this past summer. Amidst the devastation of the racial riots that happened, ultimately the people who did come out and support racial equality, it was a movement, it was a message, it was not being quiet. Right? It was It was saying what needed to be said. So many times these past few weeks since the insurrection, it was, a lot of people were saying, this is not who we are. It's absolutely who we are, right? And for those of us who speak up against racism, right, against those who would seek to oppress others, that is the fight that we've got to jump into, right? We can't sit aside and be quiet, right? So again, Amanda, I mean, right off the bat, in this poem, we're here. We are just a few stanzas in, or a few lines in. It's not a poet, so their stanzas are not. Um, so quiet has its place. Right? Quiet place. It's one of the most beautiful things that we can practice is being quiet. That we learn a lot about ourselves when we're quiet. We have the ability to maybe eventually clear our minds and really experience the richness of quiet. But when we see something happen that is outside the boundaries of those virtues that we practice in yoga, again, humility, patience, perseverance, honesty, will, forbearance, non harming, respect, if I haven't said respect already, purity, surrender, self study, self analyzing, right? Non greed. Right? A lot of these, of course, are the yamas and niyamas, plus some. Right? If actions are taken outside of those virtues that we practice, then you can't be quiet. Especially if someone has the power, right, to make major decisions like one ex-president did. And for those of us who are more progressive, we must continue to hold uh, President Biden's feet to the fire, right? Certainly, right off the bat, it seems like he's nudging ourselves forward to hopefully not just a better America, but also a better world. But it's up to us to not be quiet, right? To kind of push the agenda of whether it's a racial equality, economic equality. Of course, a lot of times they go hand in hand. Climate justice. You can't be quiet. You can't give up. Okay, so uh, and as I promised, I want to get into some pranayama today. Actually, get into some pranayama. So um, this line in which I ended a few lines down, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. That's beautiful. That is something I've thought about, written about in the past. What one might consider just isn't necessarily justice, right? Righteousness, for instance, right, is a key virtue we should be practicing, right? What is right for everyone, right? And not, holding anybody else above another. And I certainly hope that is the case with one ex-president, right? He should be held accountable for all of his misdeeds, not just during his presidency, but certainly before. So, how do we push? How do we not be quiet? Right? How do we say very loudly, right, to those who are writing our laws, right? The first branch of government, right? Our representatives, right? Our Congress people, our senators. How do we tell them? What can we reach out? Yes, we can. We cannot shut up. We cannot be quiet. It's it's odd, right? Where I just recently had written one of our senators right here in Pennsylvania, and it was a thanks, really, quite honestly, and a vote for impeachment, a vote to convict. And it's like it's everything gets sent, and I'm sure all of that might get lost in a huge basket of emails that's sent to those senators. But you never know which one they might pick, which one might just kind of spark something in their mind if it just happens to go across their screen. So whether you think I'm taking a cynical view, but I always send those emails to my senators and my representative, and maybe they don't get to actually see it, but I won't shut up. I won't be quiet. But we have to keep pushing, right? We have to keep saying this is just and this is unjust. This is normal and this is abnormal. Right? And this way we can keep nudging. This is what's beautiful about our democracy. Right? Is that the Constitution itself has a number of amendments, right? Because it wasn't perfect in the beginning, and nor is it perfect now. I would be so bold as to say that there isn't going to be a time when it is perfect. And the only thing we can keep on doing is nudging it towards perfection. And that is what our democracy is all about. As a matter of fact, I want to say Amanda even, kind of suggests that somewhere, maybe two-thirds the way down into her poem. I urge you, right? Read it, watch it. I suggest reading it. I read it to my daughter last night, and it's powerful. It's so powerful. Anyway, let's sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Right, ears, shoulders, and hips aligned. Let's inhale and exhale. Relatively easy pranayama. Inhale. Exhale. Samavriti pranayama. Just the balanced breath with inhale retentions. Inhale and exhale. If you have any difficulties along the way, please just find your own rhythm. Let's begin. Now let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Then exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Take a few moments, quiet your mind, keep your mind focused on your breathing. Exhale. Deep inhale, shoulders rise. And exhale through your mouth, shoulders back and down. Thank you so much for joining me. Please have a peaceful day. Namaste.